are going to necessarily run at them. I don't think they're going to do anything too out of the box here on this map. Starting on the CT side as well, it should be a lot more controlled. But one thing I think is very interesting from Inferno of old to Inferno of today is the fact that retakes are a lot more encouraged. There's a lot less rounds to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. And Grayhound, I'm sure, will continue to show us the retakes they were in that opening best of one. They'll be starting on that CT side because it is ATOX's map. Pete, we've got a smoke. Double flash for accuracy. HE for Dexter. Someone can be dumped somewhere. And 4 players lean over towards the A-bomb site. It's a smoke bottom banana early. They're going fast. It's just straight out apartments. And there are 4 CTs in towards middle. Liaz and Backside are going to have a nice little line of sight here as they pop out the apartments. First kill is theirs. Now out towards long. Alistair's going to fall. Inns catches the lurk. And they still have to cross this short. And it's just too many CTs here. It was a nice idea, but the setup for Grayhound is completely unraveled. Oh, and the knife is out. Liaz just trying to disrespect, and he draws the fire away to allow Inns to kill.
Yeah, look, I like the idea from ATOX there in that situation, and you can see the pace they're trying to apply. But not a singular flash kind of thrown out of the balcony. Normally you get players that kind of come in from middle and they drop the flashbangs over the top, but the setup from Grayhound completely prevents that. It just feels like you're completely funneled into their line of fire. I really also like the reposition from Inns. The fact he walks second mid, he deals with players that are still in the apartments. And from there, ATOX, they can't get going. They can't move a muscle.
Accuracy's got the Zeus on the T side now. This is something I always get excited about, a Zeus, Brandon. You know this. We love the Zeus here. And I feel like the T side isn't really where you often see the Zeus in play. And I don't know if we're going to get to see it now because he's been spotted with it. And he gets blown out of the server. A perfectly thrown HE straight into the wickets. Alistair, long range with the MP9. Getting some cash for his future AWP.
Future is honestly a thing to consider in this one. You take a look at the buy that Grayhound have brought into it. 5 SMGs. They want to get up close and personal. They want to take these gunfights. More importantly, they want to make that money. Typically, we've seen teams, especially here in the Asia RMR, future-proofing their buys a little bit. Having a little bit more of a say when it comes to that bonus. Dropping in some of the FAMAS, bleeding in the A4s. But no, instead, it's pure SMGs, and that means they're going to have all the utility.
And shout out to Grayhound for finally getting a pistol round and the follow-up conversion. A good start, a good omen ahead for them. But now they're going to have, as you said, 4 MP9s and an M4 against 5 AKs. So I wonder if we'll see maybe a little bit more aggression. This has been faster rounds so far. They definitely want to get up close and personal with the MP9s. I
like the smoke they're dropping in towards top middle because it just means they're always having a threat of pushing in towards the apartment, splitting from second middle. But that's not going to be the case. Instead, it's going to be Dexter up close. Full blinded, doesn't matter. Dobu first to hit the deck.
Yeah, Dexter just manages to spot him before the flash comes through. Gets that half a second of vision and able to put his crosshair on the dome of Dobu. Now one of those MP9s gets upgraded to a Galil. And Mick is not feeling too pretty in there either, tucked into the corner. Just have a tree in it. Nice shot from accuracy though, so they've got some space. Zesta, I don't know if he heard Inns moving about there, but the smoke is going to deter him.
Still very difficult. There's one flashbang for ATOX to kind of go into one of these bombs. I see Kabul just really wants to fight at long range against these SMGs, not quite working out. At least top brackets has been taken. You've got a lot of space here if you're ATOX, but ultimately you need to execute onto a bomb site. Vex site searching, but not securing. The bomb site's open.
Yeah, that's a bit of a risky maneuver to be making for Vex side. He's given up all the space. Alistair with the timing shot. It couldn't be better. That's made this retake a lot more doable, although the other 2 CTs not quite in position yet. Alistair's going to try and spam, not quite going to catch the target initially, although he has done some damage. With the SMGs, you may as well throw them in there. No reason not to be giving this one a go, particularly with the strength of the retakes they've shown so far. The Inns are setting up the flashbang to allow the swings to come on out. Cabal manages to dodge that fairly well, and Zesta, it's a great setup with these AKs. Inzo is able to get one. Now it becomes a little bit too difficult to deal with. ATOX fight their way into B. They're going to get onto the board.
I think it's actually a really interesting round from Grayhound when it comes to assessing where they want to go for that retake and which direction they want to go in. If you take a look, Inz is in the apartments. It looks like he's going to flank Banana. Instead, takes the long way round. Resets, comes in towards CT because he had those 2 flashbangs. He wanted to set up the MP9s. He wanted to get them through, potentially utility, or just blind these players on the site. But because his rotation was so long, despite having this kit, it didn't matter. ATOX were just able to have this room to set up in the afterplants, and from there, it's just pretty straightforward. You've also got to kind of comment on the fact that Vexite goes, oversteps in top Banana, because Grayhound don't really have the information.
I think that's been a conversation around Vexite based on his kind of international performances in the last year since he came into this squad is, yes, he's got that raw talent, but some of that decision-making, some of those overextensions, that can cost him.
That might be why the pauses come in early. Urcast could be getting on the mic and just saying, look, just need to remind you, settle into this game. We've done really well to find this pistol. ATOX aren't people to be underestimated whatsoever. They've shown that. Map after map, series after series, and you go into this, it's their map pick. You give them a way in, sure, that was bonus. That was just all SMGs. But look what Liaz is working with, for example. It's just a 5-7.
The prettiest. Fast control being established. Spam's been pretty good for Greyhounds. And oh, Dexter just getting aggressive. The MongolZ setting him up, almost gets the double. Vexite thinks better of trying to trade, waiting for that support to come on over first. That's good damage. Dexter knows that he's wounded Cabal. Now it is going to split this defense 2-2. And as you mentioned, that 5-7 is over here. So Inz, he has a lot that he needs to do.
This is good positioning from ATOX, just understanding that they're going to force that rotate over. Big fight here. You mentioned him. He completely stands up for it. 2 kills instantaneously. Zesta trades from the apartment. Knows that Inz is on short, but Inz is passing every test with flying colors. Gabal now low. And left on his own. Bomb completely restricted from him. 50 seconds left. Grayhound reconvene and rendezvous by top brackets.
That's a beautiful hold from Inz. He might even get this 4th kill. But I do want to say, Liaz, I'm not sure what he was looking at there, right? Inz is on that angle. Didn't need to extend him with the 5-7. Some of those small things, not going to be punished here, but definitely can be punished further down the line. But a great round from Inz altogether. Seeing that smoke come through just in front of the corner, and he's able to spray them both down.
Just to kind of add on top of that as well, you take a look at these fights, they're all individual. It's not like Grayhound is setting each other up for like these star plays. It's relying a lot on just the riflers feeling confident, feeling like they can win all of these engagements, and that will have a trickle-down effect later down the line. If they keep going for this style of play, and if ATOX figure it out, then that's where things can get a little bit complicated. We commented yesterday about how much Grayhound were doing the simple things so efficiently. It's up to ATOX to try and break that cycle and get them kind of thinking, get Dexter's mid-round calling really active.
Having only 2 players survive in that 1 round that ATOX picked up means that they can't even really go for proper consecutive buys after losing that 1 round. So we're going to see the AK on Cabal. See if accuracy can find success this time. I really want to know where he's setting up with it. I assume in the apartments.
Yeah, not 100% sure. The thing is that Zeus could be a flash, and that flash could be set up for the AK. Instead it's Vexite with his AK, getting rid of Dobu early. And there it goes, Inz just spamming. Just hitting the timing, seeing a glimpse of accuracy, just trying to jump up from the underpass. Now he's still got sight lines. This smoke spreads slightly to the right, so it's covered from second mid. Inz can just keep on fighting.
Yeah, they know that they're just up against these pistols. Cabal's AK might be a bit of a shock. I think it loses its potency as his supporting caster taken down. See what Cabal can manage to find. Can't quite complete the kill onto Inz. Grayhound should be looking for a 4th pretty comfortably here.
And the fact that we've already got 4 rounds here on this CT side. One thing that has kind of been pretty prominent just in CS2 in general when it comes to Inferno is that maps are quite dependent on the attacking side, and ATOX, their stats tell the same story. But the rounds they win, it's 65% on that T side. So they're really struggling. This Zeus, not going to find a thing. Vexite just cleans up. 5 alive as well is incredibly important for Grayhound. Just kind of keeping the money afloat, especially after we've had those SMG buys, after we've had the fact that they kind of got knocked back a little bit by that B pop from ATOX. It's important to kind of keep these rounds clean.
Smile on Vexite's face. He picks up that Zeus after finding the kill. In's looking very solid. That was kind of the statement in that, well, one-sided affair against ATOX in the opening round, where he went 25 for 10, 2.12 rating. And like he's the real nemesis of ATOX at the moment. Yeah, Kinsey's now tried to do an Achilles heel, we put Ins in there. They were calling it Ancients yesterday. Not yesterday, 2 days ago.
I like it. We'll get there. Liaz, swinging. Again, at least there's a trade, but you feel like these 2 players from ATOX just could have swung together.
It's individual fights just across the board, right?
Yeah, it really feels like a scrappy game, and that's only going to play into Grayhound's favor. To be honest, they've got the better individuals on the server. Just right now, you can see that it's reflected in the scoreline. It was the duo of Dobu and Kabul playing up against TYLOO, where they blew them out the water on this map. It was 36 kills between them. And sure, only 6 rounds deep, but it's 2. It's a stark contrast, and something's got to change. Fighting towards top mid, perhaps. Yet again, it's just pure contact. And time's running out.
Edging through the wall, a little bit misleading of a sound cue. Also starts to lean back so we can rotate B if needed, but he's going to be in a good position at library regardless. Now that flash is going to give him the information. Nice little off angle, and he should be good for at least 1 here. Oh, make it 2. Ins as well on the swing. That flashbang was beautiful from Ins. Not only does he find a kill, but he sets up Alistair for 2, and he finds that 3rd as well. All too easy. That's the support that we're talking about.
Yeah, that's much better. Just the network being set up by the utility. The fact that Ins is throwing it as well from the pit just means that your player on site can still focus in towards short, in towards balcony, and it just sets Alistair up for success.
But it's so easy for them to set that up, right? Because Alistair hears it all. He knows that they're flashed out towards long. There's no contact play, so he just needs to call flash long. Yeah,
it's incredibly basic. And also, look, it's just a shame when you take a look at this from a map perspective, because ATOX, they're getting a lot of this control for not really doing anything, which means they should have some nades left over. You could even smoke off library potentially. Instead, they just kind of want to have that element of surprise because the clock is being burnt out so low. They're going through this. Smoke, but it's Liaz. He's actually jumping. It's Alistair with the covering fire. It's Alistair with all of them. ATOX, they just can't get a look in. It's Alistair with the full house as well. And that's a statement piece.
Yeah, it takes the full clip, but he gets every single kill. Alistair fired up. And you know, once he gets online, once he starts getting that fire in his veins, that he's an unstoppable force. 12 for 3 after that ace. Liaz calling for support. I think he got like dinked through the edge of the truck as well.
Yeah, he scroll wall jumped literally probably at the worst time. Unfortunately, Alistair was there.
Don't give us the audio. I want to know what he's yelling.
This smoke has really been prevalent in every single one of these rounds from Grayhound. Look at how much space it just gives Ins to work with. If you're ATOX, you should be considering getting a nade to blow this open. But look, 2 players are just walking down. They're not ready for it. Kabul's just completely off guard.
Yeah, it's a very on-meta smoke, right? This is the one that we've seen pretty much in every tier 1 game of Inferno. And, you know, I mean, it's just a basic thing, but this is the sort of meta adjustments that Dexter is going to be bringing to the squad. And if you're a team like ATOX, where you haven't been playing that tier of competition, you're not always going to be ready for these tricks. I mean, this one's a pretty standard smoke these days, but there's going to be plenty of different options like this that Dexter will be able to bring to the table.
This is clever as well, right? You've taken the contact in towards top mid. You've fallen all the way back. You're now playing a lot more passive if you're Grayhound. Meanwhile, you're working the other side of the map. There's constant pressure, but also there's constant gathering of information. Grayhound know that ATOX are subjected to mid and second mid.
Dexter's just safe behind the flames. There won't be a known element that's not going to matter too much because, again, we're trying out towards long. This time the smoke comes first, and accuracy holding for that peek into short for information. Smoke comes down towards long, and Inns thinks, okay, maybe there's an option here. But Dexter has just pushed through Banana, drops Dobu. Now they're split up, walking through smoke. Alistair caught off guard after one. Liaz is there to support, and accuracy got that one kill, but now has to come up with an incredible clutch and can't get it done. Liaz takes him down, and AWP recovered, and Grayhound on the roam.
I hate to say it, but this is far. I hate to say it as well, but this is far too easy. Like this, it is really simple for Grayhound. It is just basics. And ATOX, they are really struggling to adjust. There's something that's got to give. And look, there's 3 pauses available, ATOX. Definitely take one of them now. Sure, you're on Tech 9s, but also just gives you a 30-second breather. Something's got to change when it comes to the pacing of these rounds. Direction needs to be formulated a lot quicker. But currently, they're just being completely overwhelmed by not a whole lot.
There's a bit of a counter to that smoke by actually smoking top mid as well. Gonna be trying out B. It's been very A-heavy so far, outside of the initial rounds. With the Tech 9s, Vexite and Dexter on the whole, but they've not had to drop any utility. So if it's just the pop play, they've got plenty to defend with. Dexter can drop this smoke, and drop the Molotov behind it, and they just have to run on through. And it's too easy. The crossfire is perfect. You jump through a smoke, into the fire, and into a rain of bullets.
It's just convincing. I mean, it's just so convincing. Look, this one's Tech 9s. You can kind of forgive ATOX for this. I like the fact that they do counter with that top mid smoke. Then they set up the flashes for Banana. They get the control, and then they decide to execute. Ultimately, just haven't got the tools for the job in this one. Nice kills. Cabal getting confidence with the Tech 9, hoping for more, but no, Inns is there. And Inns is ready. And Grayhound are alive.
And a big storyline for Cabal, right? He's just seen 2 of his former teammates qualify for the Major. It's been a couple of years now, I guess, since that IHC runs at the 2 majors back to back. Now with a new squad with some young talent under his wing, looking to take his team there alongside them. A long road ahead.
Needs to be that player to lead by example here. Early nades and Banana yet again. The fight for control prevalent. Dexter sliding in towards sandbags. Vexite ready to potentially support with utility. Smoke goes deep. Retake utility and Dexter's behind it. Meanwhile, Alistair aggressive in apps. Rewarded. Zester punished.
Yeah, Zester aware of the possibility. Jiggles the angle, but shows a little bit too much skin. Alistair gets excited, finds his kill. Dexter sitting behind the smoke. Too easy for him as Mick just walks straight on through. And the spray, it looked like it was actually going to reward Dexter, but Traces gives Dobu a target to shoot at. Brought incredibly low, and he has to be careful spamming as well. Vexite's playing patient as support does come on over. And again, there's so much utility for Grayhound. So even finding a couple of kills, getting space in, with players this low, also on HE and Molotovs can do a lot of work. That's a good kill though. Accuracy cashing Alistair on the fade.
So we've got low players. I mean, it's both. On both sides, right? Vexite's half HP. Inns is a couple of bullets away from death. Inns setting up a flashbang now for Vexite to peek over the top. Accuracy can't see, and that means that Dobu is isolated. Vexite's done enough. Remember, 20 seconds left. Low HP now on both of these players, and Liaz can rotate in to help out. Flash through. Inns brave, and he does get both.
Lovely quick play. The flash is perfectly timed. Inns calling it, and he just charges on through. Knows that he's got low HP and can go for a play like that. Guaranteed to get one, really, and the fact that they're both in that same position, it's too easy for him to spray them down. Grayhound looking dominant on Inferno.
It's really interesting as well because the desk really highlighted the fact that it was a solid team effort from Grayhound all the way through yesterday against JiJieHao. It was everyone chiming in with meaningful contributions. This time it's just two players. It's Inns, it's Alistair, just running complete chaos on this server, not letting ATOX have a singular sort of essence of survivability in the round. They are just being overwhelmed. If it's not one, it's the other.
There's not really been the need to call on the whole team effort, really, it's felt like. The multi-kills have come all too easy, it feels.
Those nades.
They're doing a lot of early damage.
So much control again for very little expended. You still got a couple of smokes, a lot of utility here on both Alistair and Liaz. The setup on Banana has always been proactive. This time it's slightly different. Vexite is the one that's down deep, and it's Dexter trying to take the contact.
MongolZ will do a lot here. Yeah, Vexite has no way out. Yeah, doomed. No smoke. So a very forward position to be in when you've got no escape plan. Dexter was already on the rotate over. Now he's come back.
That has split the defense, 2 each. Alistair's come over with the AWP. And it looks like this is where ATOX want to hit eventually. Dexter's relocating. It's just going to be the sniper.
Mentioned Alistair's been doing a fantastic job so far.
Look at this read.
Oh,
Dexter's holding so deep for this split. He's ready. He's aware. And he's spraying them down. Zester first up to the chopping block. Now it falls on Alistair. And he passes it. He hits one on Dobu. Now he needs another. Flashes himself out so Dexter can come in.
Yeah, Dexter can come support. The extra element of this split is no longer needed. Great proactiveness. Oh, accuracy, though, is given an opportunity. 2 strong kills onto the site, and they want to fight it. Flashbang over the top, and again, so fast, never allowing ATOX to get into these post plants.
Just a little sample, a little insight into what accuracy can give. A 1-on-4, he gets those 2 headshots, he dismantles Dexter and Alistair. He's got enough time to plant, but where Grayhound are being so proactive, and they're really reacting to these situations ahead of time, it just means that accuracy is just in the open. There's no possible way through. He can't set up an afterplant position because as soon as he puts that bomb down, Grayhound are there. Grayhound are all over the map, breathing down your neck constantly.
Just feels like they're ahead of all the players that ATOX are bringing out. That was where ATOX finding the opening pick as well, and it comes down to an attempted 1v4 at the end. Great flash, but better shot. Alistair catches the timing.
There we go, there's a nade to blow the smoke. If he had pulled the trigger, it definitely would have been a kill. Instead, just resets off. ATOX want to retake Banana. Meanwhile, it's passive on top mid, and Grayhound aren't really interested in investigating.
No need to. Found the opener. Alistair still getting presence over towards Banana. Flick shot. Almost does the job, but Zester catches off Inns. This is going to cause him to sweat a little bit.
Look at this from Dexter, though. Yeah, again, immediately something happens on the map, he reacts. Okay, I need to find information, I need to set my team up. Walks down, clears, and immediately look at the communication. These B players can remain reset. All we have to consider now is long. As soon as Liaz deems that clear, he can now be in close pursuit to come B.
Time of that smoke is so good as well. Backside, in the backside, has Alistair to support, but backside goes down. Damage done. It's given Alistair a nice line of sight, no smoke, so he can just keep taking these fights, but Mick gets onto the line. And now ATOX can finally set up in a post plant. 3 players, they have the advantage, and now they've made it double. Liaz in the 1 versus 3. His position noted. Shot through the smoke, looking to find some space around the edge of it, and Mick is ready for it. ATOX finally at the tail end of the half get another round.
Yeah, it really takes them until the very last one to piece it together. But that one is all about just being decisive in the moment. As soon as they get space, Zester gets the kill out long. Based on the positioning, that ATOX are in, it's a really good call just to go, okay, let's go B. Let's just hit it immediately. We're all in the right position. Dexter, sure, he gets the information, but it's the bomb site defense that doesn't hold. Nice AWP from Mick as well.
Picks it up with the low HP and gets the job done. This is with Grayhound actually finding the opening kill as well, but Zesta's lurk is also massive here, right? Causes a lot of issues in the defense. Nalsair feels like he's just got 3 targets to fight, but Mick getting everything done.
Really solid AWP in. The issue is it still doesn't feel like enough of a T side, right?
Yeah, well, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, that's really selling people short. Fight up B, flashbang, really good. Mick gets set up. Dual Berettas trying to tap away, but can only find the head of one. And now Grayhound are just going to accelerate. Dobu spamming wildly, hoping for a chance, but not securing. It has to be a retake. Ins a play through the smoke, trying to catch them off, but it's not working. And Vexite doesn't get caught off by Cabal.
Yeah, this time pushes the smoke for success. Still ATOX with the advantage. Alistair tapping in case they run through. Can disengage. I think this is the key thing. You see already Vexite is going to be taking a space over towards A. Alistair doesn't need to run just yet because Vexite can get around to long and cut off the rotations. And they're going to be ahead of it. So they are going to be able to set up, get the bomb down, which in of itself is already a massive win. ATOX have sat still, waiting to see if they come back. Oh, now Alistair can plant for Library, and they can take very active lines.
Yeah, this is good from Vexite. The fact that he hasn't gone round the corner. He's going to be the player that takes the contact, but Alistair's actually reset. He's worried about players coming in from apartments, but it's all Vexite. 2 quick kills, looking for the third, can't quite get it, and Zesta makes it a 1v1.
Zesta has been doing a lot of work for this team since he came into the squad. Big part of their success against TYLOO is keep it going here, pull this clutch out, but time is not on his side, and Alistair plays him like a fiddle. Grayhound, another successful pistol.
Yeah, good position there from Ali as well. The fact he is at just default, he's just listening for audio. The last person you really expect to be lying in wait there is on that bomb site. But good position from Vexite. And learning from mistakes as well. We spoke about the overextension very early into that game that got ATOX their first round. Here, he sets up in CT. His prime job is to cut off the rotates, and he does exactly that. A good disengage from Grayhound, and another well-earned pistol.
Absolutely vexed. ATOX have no choice but to force. Backs against the wall on their map pick, and that's a nice opening pick for accuracy. Sharp with the sharpshooter. Ins. Max 7 on the other side of this half wall. Trying to bait out the shot, and that's perfection. Ready for that swing. You can see, adjusts for it. Even actually hits the headshot onto Mick as he comes on over. Zesta has gotten aggressive, so this has pinned Grayhound in. And accuracy, looking for some tags. Can't quite find them, though. Gonna be a fast flying up banana. Surely they're aware of this based on Zesta's kill.
Yeah, Ins is considering it. Holding. Meanwhile, Grayhound have taken space into the site. Ins on the off angle, deals with Zesta. Is he ready for a second? Potentially. Is considering it. Gonna go wide. Cabal up close. Important fight to determine a little bit of an outcome of the round, but no, instead.
They've just run through.
And they've gone A.
They've gone through the smokes. Accuracy was spamming off his scouts, so he knew where he was. And this is locked in. You're not, okay, maybe not. Ins, swings a bit early. Accuracy was ready for it.
That's an AK.
There's the world he can do this. Alistair's low. Has to be cleared though, and the spin. Almost. Backside's repositioned long. Surely you're not ready for that. No way. Grayhound find map point.
Yeah, and they do it in a incredibly concrete way as well. That the fact that they understand where these players are, they piece it together, and that they find a gap, they slip the net right through the opponent's spawn, of all things. It just feels demoralizing. It doesn't feel great. Both of the, well, in fact, all of the maps in the series against TYLOO for ATOX were blowouts in terms of the scoreline. So for them, they're really hoping that it's kind of a similar fate. However, they're the ones that can rebound.
Hinz has been so good at these picks on the corner angles, but Zesta almost had opportunities there. 2 presented themselves. Feels like Grayhound have caught the scent of blood, and they're not letting it get away from them. Another shotgun. Maybe can find some success, but getting split upon. And it's the Deagle lines up for a moment, but can't quite connect. And Grayhound demolished ATOX on their map pick.
Yeah, that's an understatement. It was incredibly convincing from